Welcome to Assertiveness, the show that gives ordinary South Africans a space to talk about things that really matter. On today's episode, we're going to be discussing pull her down syndrome, a phrase that was first publicly made in South Africa by Felicia Mabuza Subtle on her show. And what she had discussed it, and the context in which she discussed it, was that women do not support each other. Bye, Felicia. Because I don't believe that. I don't like it. It's unfair. And it's a very, very negative phrase. But in any case, we're going to unpack this conversation or this topic. And I'm joined in studio by three beautiful women. See? No pull her down syndrome. I said they're beautiful. See me? See me? Thank you. All right. We're going to let them introduce themselves because we don't want to lie about them. Understand? So we're going to let them tell us who they are, where they're from, and ladies, welcome. Oh, you guys are so pretty. So nice and pretty people. Young Chinese. Anyway, okay, so you're going to tell us who you are, where you're from, what do you do? Yeah, that is actually very important because I think that we don't celebrate enough women black excellence. When you look at black excellence, if you actually go and hashtag and you search for it on Twitter, and I'm going to do it now, I'm going to make an experiment. I'm going to show you guys how much of black excellence is attributed to men's black excellence, whatever it's called. In any case, before we get there, name, where you're from, what do you do? You know? Yeah. We'll start here, ma'am.
Okay, okay, and I am graduating this year in musical theatre studies.
Woo! Yes, girl.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and I'm from Guatemala.
Guatemala. It's lovely to have you. Bakwazi ngasiphi style ka?
Bangazingumangisa.
Yo, girl. Uzoshayela ngithi eqineni.
Yo, wow.
Angikhohle. I've got great memory. By the way, I take Gingo Biloba, so I've got amazing memory. I will remember Umanyisa. At the end of the show, sizovala ngawe. Uzoba a closing scene. Ngiyabonga. Yes, ma'am.
Sanibonani. Gama lami nguZinhlesibia. Nami I'm from Guatemala.
Ooh, nizenge kasi. So niyazana.
Not really, but yeah.
It's big. Is Guatemala huge?
Yes, it's
Is
big.
it? Okay, that's interesting.
I'm doing my final year
Woo!
in BCom accounting. Yes.
That's awesome.
At Northwest University.
Okay, in Northwest. Why can't I in Northwest Valley?
No, Live Valley. I am just here.
Oh, there's an. Okay. All right, ma'am.
Ntombenhle Nkosi, nami ngibuye eThema.
Hey, iKwathema namhlanje iyarepresenta shine Kwathema shine.
I'm a nurse by profession.
Ooh.
Yes.
Lovely.
And ngitume ngokuba mama kanithathile.
Okay, mama kanithathile. Wenzani?
Ngiyaspina.
Yaspina. Serious?
Nje.
That is so cool. Oh my gosh, you need to teach us. That is beyond amazing. No, wait, Yaspina serious? You know what I love about you? Like in the literal 30 seconds that you started speaking, you got so much attitude. For sure. Yaspina. Yebo Yaspina. Love it. I love it. You know what? We're going to jump right into the conversation about pull her down syndrome. Do you guys believe it exists?
Yes, I do.
Okay. In the natural, I'm the one who discovered it. In its natural form. Okay, no. In the way it's been described, okay, let's take a step back. What do you understand about it? I think that will give us all a clearer perspective.
I think I understand what like as women, we don't pull each other up. Like siyamonakalelana, basically.
Siyenzani Tony?
Siyamonakalelana.
Niyamonakalelana. Is that what?
I hope I said it right.
Oh, okay. I hope I said it right because it did not sound right. Any case, which means that we are
jealous.
We are jealous of each other. Okay, perfect. Okay.
Like, okay, basic, stupid example.
Yeah.
Like, when you get a service from umuntu wesifazane, it's not the same as when you get a service from a male. You know,
okay.
They go, like, men go the extra mile.
Is it not that women are lazy?
No, they have attitude. Like, uzobana attitude, I don't know why.
Maybe she doesn't like your face.
Pull her down syndrome.
I've had plenty of times that people don't like my face, or maybe I'm loud when I get there. Or maybe I'm feeling the excitement. And it's like, it's like, okay, today, not today, milkman stole something from you. Okay. So you believe that it's generally that we're jealous of each other. Okay.
You see, that's the thing. Why can't we just accept each other by who we are? Why do we have to keep on pulling each other down? You know, I'm loud. Whether I like
We always find something wrong.
Exactly. We always find something wrong, especially you know. You and I can rock the same dress, but then, you know, even though but still, I'm gonna have to be like, oh, yeah, Mara. You know, Mara, her big toe, I been wrong again. You know, Mara.
Umbonzi. It's in Valewang, Umbonzi. But I'm open to that. Yeah.
But it's true, ne? Like you'll be buying a house and they'll be like, how?
Hey, these girls buying a house, eh? Not saying buy. No, buying a house.
You'll be buying a house, they're like, how am I taking a go pee? You know, could have gone to Rhinefield, could have gone to wherever, but why this place in particular? Why this kind of a house? Why not Tuscan? Why what? You know? So, good take, yeah, you did well, finally a house, you know? But they want to get something wrong.
Okay, but do you guys, you see, here's my problem with the whole thing. My biggest problem is I believe it's normal human behavior. I think what for me, it almost feels like, but what do we mean when we say it's just women? What do we call it when men do it to each other? But maybe the question should be, do men do it to each other? Do we know if men do it to each other? Because we don't have a male perspective, obviously, on the panel. Do we know if men do the same thing to each other?
No, I don't think so.
I think they do. I think they do, but then I have this thing with men, they deal with things better than women.
Okay.
So it's just like undoda nendoda meyilwa. Angeke bayenze lento ukuthi abakhulumisani for a whole month. Kusasa it's shomtita bakhohliwe. But as women iphelile, you know, Tina, we're just gonna hold that grudge and be like, you know what, that girl, you know. Yeah, so I think they do it. They just don't let it get to them as much as us women.
But is it not because we are far more in touch with our feelings than what most men are? So are we, here's my issue with this whole pull her down syndrome thing. Look, I'm not going to dispute the fact that we women, Valenche, we've got this thing, Jay.
It's not my issue.
I want to say it's not my issue, but like, we can walk into a room, Jay, without even speaking to her. You already generally just don't like someone. Is it not maybe because we as women are, as I said, we're more in tune with our feelings, and maybe we don't process things the same as men? Because you do, okay, what I'm trying to lead to is you do find those women who are tomboy. Do they do the same thing as a normal woman?
Yes.
So it's
not as much, guys, though. Huh? I think not as much. Like, because I think ukuthi mhlambe if I'm lesbian, ngine influence ebafana kakhulu, you know, in my life. So adopt a lifestyle yabo. Ang adopt a lifestyle yamantombazana, whereas when I'm just straight female, you know, ngihlala namantombazana kakhulu. So lama attitude nama behavior swayenzayo are the same. So I'm thinking ukuthi as much as ashilo ukuthi abafana bayenzi kakhulu, you know. If we're lesbian or we're tomboy and you like chilling with guys, you don't do it as much because awuhlala namantombazana.
So it's a behavior that you learn. Ultimately, what we're saying is that the pull her down syndrome is a behavior. And I think that's what I was trying to build to. My issue with the whole thing of calling it pull down syndrome is it makes it negative, which fine, it is a negative thing, but are we then not perpetuating the behavior by giving it a name? You know, it's always a thing with if you know someone, or let's say Aunt Jolie, you guys are seeing each other, right? You almost don't expect certain things until that person says, you're my girlfriend or you're my boyfriend. Then you all of a sudden, the title, even in my expectations, are we then not in the same principle, by giving this behavior a name, are we not then saying it's okay for people to behave that way?
But we could be saying it's okay for people not to behave that way. It's not okay for people to behave that way.
Wait, like, get understanding of what I'm trying to say. What I mean, I hear what you're saying by saying it might also mean that people must not do it. But generally in life, when you give, if you give something a definition, it's almost like you breathe life into its existence. And I'm not saying that it doesn't exist, the fact that we pull each other down. But I just feel like we perpetuate. Is that thing Uguti, if you walk into a group of white people and they say, and you're like a black person, then the white people are like, hey, black people are so loud. The fact that they keep saying it to us is what makes us now want to be loud. Do you understand? You end up just being loud because they expect that behavior from us. So even now, but they're comfortable with the fact that they say, gosh, we're sitting next to a table of black girls. It's going to be very loud. Yeah, I understand that thing. So are we then also not doing the same thing by giving this behavior a name? Are we not perpetuating? It must be an expectation. That's how women treat each other.
No, I think the way it is now, what happens is automatically, like when you walk into a place as a woman, also spot somebody, like whether it has a name or not, even if it didn't have a name, obviously you'd be doing it because it's open and you're like, okay, you know, why this dress and that shoe? She could have worn something better, or maybe haven't. So eventually it just happens, name or not, it happens.
It's there.
For me, it's more like I said, it's identifying the problem. So, Tina, as girls, we know it's okay. This is the problem that we have, and
I think now it's your choice. Yes. Am I going to engage in this kind of behavior or not?
But like, let's be honest. Let's now be frank. I'm a goody two shoes, Lana. It's not a choice. Sometimes that thing happens without your control. Sometimes you walk into a room and you're just like, oh my gosh, now everywhere I go, she's there. I want to be frank. I don't want to sit here and lie to people at home and tell them, Muguti, we can make a choice. I agree that we can make a choice at the end product as to how you then, I don't know, I'm puzzled and I need you guys to help me, because for me, I feel like it's something that I can't help. And I don't want to be a bad person. Nobody wants to be a bad person. Nobody wants to be that girl who walks in and you just hate everyone. But it does happen. It's like, let's say, we're sitting, let's say it's just the two of me, you and I at a party. And then, let's say our boyfriends, I'm a stay in that party, they're having a braai for their friend. Then, these two rock up. They don't greet us. We understand that thing was already They understand. I don't think it's something that, and the thing is, them not greeting does not make them bad people either. Sometimes, like for me personally, I wasn't taught at home, Uguti, I must greet everywhere. And maybe I wasn't taught because I never lived with my mom. I lived in boarding school. In boarding school, we have VUCA. Everybody's trying to rush to the bathroom. No one's got, with white kids. No one is trying to greet anybody, you know? And I know it's an African thing to greet, but I've never really learned how to do it, you know, all the time. Sanbanani, oh, Sanbanani, Sanbanani. But obviously, it's something that I'm trying to practice to do. So the thing is, they might not know that there must be a greeting. You understand? Now, we're sitting there because people didn't greet us. They're better than us. How do we help that? Because that's something we can't help, you know?
But I guess as soon as you realize it's happening, just stop it. Like you would, you know, I get it before you talk, ne? Like something, yes, you think it. But brother, if you're about to say it, you go, okay, let me just shut up. You know, you don't.
But you thought it.
Say, yeah, but don't say it out loud.
Oh, what? Not saying it out loud makes it better?
It doesn't make it better, but at least once you voice it, I was good to lo. So as much as it doesn't make it better because you kept quiet about it, but.
By the way, texting it also is the same as saying it, because I know what women do. Then they text their friend who's not there.
Because it would say.
Yeah, so it's.
Nakana not giving it a name doesn't make it better.
No, I hear what you're saying. I just, for me, all the time, it just feels like when we give things name, we perpetuate that behavior and that stereotype because we almost breathe life into it all the time. And I hear what you're saying. Not giving it a name also doesn't take it away. But now, here's the question. How do we sort it out? Because the reality is that it's there, it exists, and it does more harm than any good. I do feel there are some sides of it that are good, and I'll tell you what I mean. You know, when we come back from the break, we're going to go on a quick ad break. But I'll explain to you how I feel, Guti, it's got some positive side to it. But the reality is that it is harmful. So now, before we even go to the ad break, I need you guys to just snippets of how do we solve it.
Keep quiet.
But keeping quiet doesn't take it away. You're still thinking it.
You will think, but don't do it.
So do you think
It's normal to think,
Yeah.
because that's what you do anyway, but just don't say it out loud. Don't even say it to your friend.
makes
It's
you more
umbonile.
Satan.
It's fine. Be a Satan inside. Don't say it out loud.
But you know, Satan inside, it's what's it called? Constipated emotions. Because constipated emotions can kill you. Because you are there hating on somebody inside, deep inside. You eventually kill that person.
Say it to the right person. Don't say it to the person ofuna ukumheta.
So yahleba njalo.
Oh, yeah. Okay, no, we're going to go for a quick break. When we come back, we're going to touch on what Zinhle just said about say it to the right person, not the person who's going to get harmed. It's a very small world, Zinhle. You will be surprised at how your screenshots can circulate so quickly. But we will take a quick air break. When we come back, we're going to touch on that, and then we're going to go straight into where can we find the positives? Because there's always a positive to everything. I'm going to sit here and be an optimist. Please don't go anywhere.